Good morning, Bear Nation. Daniel, never poke a bear. Never poke the bear. The bear will grab you by the face and rip your face off. But sit there calmly and nom on it as you scream in pain. Good morning, Patriot USA. Why he's not on yet? I don't know, Wayne, why he's not on yet. Because he's a human being and sometimes he got to do thing. Good morning, Brad. The Far East, Oregon. Shaloha. The best coffee. Disastercoffee.com. Miss Lovely Dudley, good morning. Eric Child, David, Jim, Gilbert, Brad, Trip, Oogly, Jason, Robert, Chad again. So many Chads, the best Chads. Big Joe, tremendous. Isn't that correct? So correct. Jay Vest, Toronto, Daniel, William. What's up? Thank you all for being here. And let's do this dang thing. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Pedraig, shalom, good morning. Doug Bugler, Puka. Bear Independent Intel Report, 12 June 2020. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all deeply. If you're new here, or if, let's say, you've been lurking in the shadows, enjoying the hour or so of free content per day, delivering actionable intel into your lives so that you don't become a casualty of the circumstance of the times, maybe a fair exchange would be that you click the subscribe button. Maybe, just saying, that you click the subscribe button, ring the little bell, and then that way we'll be well on our way to 100K by 4 day. Isn't that right, Eric? Isn't that right, Blue Collar? Isn't that right, Richard? Tara knows. Tara knows. She knows all the things, but she definitely knows 100K by 4 day. It's what we're trying to do here. Please, thank you, Sister Francis Perez. Everybody, if I don't get clap hands for Sister Francis right now, clap hands for Sister Francis. I'm shutting it down. Don't try me. I've done it before. Let's see them. Where they at? Roll it. Roll those clap hands or I'm out. That's right. That's right. There you go. Love you all, Bear Nation. You're awesome. Okay. The entirety of this report is on Patreon. I didn't even know that was an emoji. Wow. That's cool. The entirety of this report is on Patreon. You can find this there. Speaking of Patreon, this coming week, because of the circumstances of my existence, I will probably not be in a position, thank you, Billy, to do this brief every morning with y'all. However, this brief will still post on Patreon every day next week. So if you want to continue to receive this intel next week, where I may be on a hiatus here on YouTube, this will still post to Patreon every day. It's $1 a month, 3 cents a day. If you don't think this is worth 3 cents a day, we have a difference of opinions. If you hate it, you can quit and you're out $1. My guess is you won't hate it. There's a whole world of content over there that has never seen the light of day here, nor will it, because we can go much deeper there than we can here. Bear monkey, bear monkey, bear monkey. Thanks, Brad. Hello from not Kansas. All right. And that's it. And the intel goes to intel@bearindependent.com. You're awesome. BearIndependent.com. Intel at BearIndependent.com. That's how you feed the dance monkeys. Appreciate you, Joseph. All right, let's roll into this. Overview. The number of confirmed cases worldwide in the U.S. continues to climb. This is that COVID thing, Kevin. You remember that? That used to have the whole world shut down, but now we're like, it's fine. You can just set cities on fire, establish your own autonomous zone. It's whatever. The whole world is over this COVID thing. But anyway, numbers continue to climb. As of the time of this reporting, the official numbers are as follows. By the way, shout out to the Dance Monks for putting this thing together. It's fabulous. Global cases, 7.5 million, with 3.3 million active cases. Global deaths, 421,000. Global recoveries, 3,825,000. U.S. cases, 2,084,000, with 1,157,000 active cases. U.S. deaths, 115,000, just shy of 116,000. These numbers, while they are still going up, are not going up at the rates that they were going up. However, and we'll just do recoveries, 811, almost 812,000 U.S. recoveries. However, they're already saying, yes, and all the clap hands too for the monkeys. If we could get some clap hands for the monkeys, they're the best. They're the tremendousest. That's a word. I just invented it. Come on, brain. While these numbers are going up, they're not going up at the exorbitant rates that we've been seeing until now. However, appreciate y'all, I really do. Jazz hands like this. These are jazz hands. You have to have wide articulation on the fingies. Okay. Big they, the system, the media, isn't that right, Chad Barrow, are saying that these numbers are going to start going way up again. My question is, because I didn't believe them on their numbers until this point, are those the numbers or are they their numbers? Exactly. Jazz pause. All right. Repeating. It appears that the second wave of the virus is beginning to take effect in multiple countries, as cases have spiked greatly across the board, including in at least 20 U.S. states. There seems to be little, if any, panic at this time. Raise your hand if you're panicking. Anybody? Going once. Going twice. Ryan's panicking. Ryan, don't panic. Do push-ups. Okay, not panicking. Cool. Roger, me either. In Seattle, oh boy. In Seattle, Antifa's Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, or CHAZ, erected a sort of border wall, set up non-smoking sections, had their food stolen by the homeless they invited. A man caught tagging was beaten by internal arbiters of order with no training, body cams, or accountability. He was repeatedly kicked in the head and punched, and his glasses were broken. In addition, recent reports say residents and business owners in the area are being extorted and intimidated. You think? Astoundingly, Washington's governor claimed that he is unaware of this autonomous zone during a press conference on Wednesday. Hold on one moment. Just one moment. I feel just slightly underdressed. Hold on. So much better. Okay. Yeah, so the CHAZ. Here's the funny thing about the CHAZ. Optic is a go. Stu Bergier of The Blaze has a pretty dang good, I was going to say awesome, but sometimes I do not listen to the whole thing. But I'm just going to go with, on average, pretty dang good, 7.5, 8 out of 10, some days 10 out of 10 podcast called Stu Does America. And he has a Stu Does CHAZ episode out. Let me tell you, he nails it. He nails it. The opening monologue in that podcast, he's essentially saying, so these communists came in and, thanks, Dad, took over this area, immediately set up a border wall, immediately set up a border, lined up their own security. Oh, yeah, Andy, the line gear on, yeah, it's line gear, bro. Frozen drink with a little umbrella. Some flashbangs. Good to go. Good to go, man. So, anyway, I really enjoyed that podcast. I'd recommend it. Yeah, Stu is awesome. I've actually met Stu in person a couple of times. I don't expect that he would remember me, but when we were working for the Blaze, I've met Stu a couple of times at least 2 times, maybe 3 times. He's exactly how he is on radio and TV. He's exactly the same, like socially awkward, sarcastic, just he's exactly the same. And I love that. I love it when people are, there's no persona, it's just them. So, yeah. And Jeffy is massive. He's even bigger in person than you would imagine. He's massive. Anyway, CHAZ, that's funny. Thomas Lane, one of the police officers involved in the George Floyd incident, has been released from jail on bail. The U.S. Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy said that he was open to the idea of changing the names of military installations named after Confederate generals, such as Fort Benning and Fort Bragg. Trump said that his administration will not even consider the idea. I don't care. I think at this point, it has become, it's a military institution at this point. Like, nobody cares that Fort Bragg was named after Bragg. They care about Fort Bragg because it's Fort Bragg. Same thing with Fort Benning. You know what I mean? Exactly, Philly Flash. That's what I'm saying. F that, I was at Benning. Nobody cares who it was named for at this point. They just care about the tradition that it's built on its own at this point. Good morning, JP Reviews. Oh, Madeline, I have heard about the gun shops getting looted. Oh, what's this? Oh my goodness, what is the, oh, how did that get here? A Turkish court has sentenced a U.S. consulate employee, Metin Topuz, to over 8 years in prison for, quote, aiding a terror organization. He was initially accused of espionage and trying to overthrow the government. The U.S. Embassy has said that no credible evidence was presented against him. Now, the likelihood of finding credible evidence in Turkey is probably very low, but the likelihood of anybody employed by the State Department being an intelligence operative is incredibly high. So at this point, they're probably both right. Yes, there's no credible evidence, but yes, dude was probably collecting intel. That's what the State Department does. But they're supposed to relate to our, yeah, they do relate to our allies. They do interface with host nations. They do all of that. While the actual scope of their project, their job is always gather as much intel as possible, work as many contacts as possible, build as many relationships as possible. Bless you, Cassius. So, there you go. Badger's here. Tour more eyewitness accounts, repeating continuity of infrastructure and supply chains. I think if we're going to call China, we got to call chains, Janes. Right? Let's just turn, here in the Bear Nation, let's just understand that CH is now pronounced with a J. Maybe like a JH instead. So supply chains. Repeating, due to the civil unrest, many stores are closing and or reducing hours. And roads and public transit systems are closing at least temporarily. This will affect delivery routes. Just so we're all clear on that. Additionally, many sellers are removing guns, ammo, knives, bows, arrows, BB guns from their shelves. One manager has said that they are available upon request. However, this policy may vary from area to area. Lucky Luciano, shalom. Can anybody suggest a good pistol light? Nope. Not at all. How's that? Mini review. Yep, it works. Okay. Repeating, animal processors appear to be slowly returning to normal after the steep drop experienced early this year. Some prices are already beginning to reduce. It remains to be seen how the second wave of COVID will affect supply chains at this time. The Sanctified Supply Co. shared a service alert from UPS that states, quote, ongoing demonstrations have led to service delays in locations across the country, end quote. Let me repeat that. Ongoing demonstrations have led to service delays in locations across the country, end quote. This full alert with delivery protocol description is on Patreon. So if you're on Patreon, you can go see that. It's included in this report, which always posts the best words. Red Baron. Dude, you fly biplanes like nobody's business. And pretty good bake-at-home pizza, too. So you're killing it, man. Like, you need one more for the hat trick. You need one more awesome thing. I don't know what that could be. Like figure skating, interpretive dance, synchronized swimming. There you go. Synchronized swimming. Biplane badass, decent bake-at-home pizza, and synchronized swimming. Dude, hat trick. Hat trick. All right. So, yeah, imagine that. Ongoing demonstrations have led to service delays in locations across the country. Thank you, Sanctified Supply Co. Can he shoot good? I don't know he shoot good. Starbucks is the latest in a string of chain stores to close hundreds of stores. Up to 400 locations are slated to be shut down in the next 18 months. You know, on the one hand, if you work at Starbucks, that sucks for you. Roger Rabbit Hole, good morning, brother. Shalom. Roger Rabbit Hole is a good dude. He is a good dude and an awesome brother. Shalom, brother. So if you work at Starbucks, that sucks. But Starbucks, overpriced, bad coffee, staffed and run by hipsters, kind of not quite in my wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Yeah, they did shut down Live PD. I mean, but also, what are they going to do right now? Put up, hours of footage of police not engaging? Scott! Bless you, Scott! Thanks, Scott. Jerry? Cup of tea? I don't know, Dudley. If you make the tea, I'll probably drink it. But I don't really go around drinking tea, so... But I like you, so yeah, I'll drink your tea. Whatever you prefer. New Jersey's NICS checks are behind 4 days. Their website states 994 submissions in queue. Due to significant increase in requests, we have increased resources in an effort to reduce wait times. 994 submissions in queue. Reduce wait times. Okay. The system is failing. Legal, political, and military. By legally preventing contract renewal with private companies to run state prisons unless needed to meet court-ordered inmate housing limits, California has effectively banned private prisons and immigration detention centers. ICE has stated previously that this legislation would simply mean out-of-state transfers to existing facilities and longer travel for visitors. I just don't know with California. I know there are so many good people in California, but I don't understand how you let the progressives get a monopoly on your state. I mean, I kind of understand it because I'm originally from upstate New York. And upstate New York is in no way like downstate New York, but downstate runs it. My necklace goes good with my shirt. Thanks, Red Baron. You get there. Keep flying, man. Keep fighting the good fight. You and Snoopy out in that little red biplane. Love it. Pennsylvania's governor is refusing to follow the law and heed the resolution of the General Assembly to end his emergency order. They are now headed to court. Maybe y'all need to be headed to the Capitol building. There's an ad. Maybe try that. Crooked elections in California. There you go. Yeah, Texas is doing it now. That's exactly right, Ashley. Screw downstate New York. Agreed. Canandaigua. What part of New York? Nunya. Chicago's mayor is keeping the possibility of raising property taxes on the table as businesses struggle from the effects of both the pandemic and the riots and looting. Maybe Chicago's mayor shouldn't just let unrestricted mayhem occur within his jurisdiction so that we don't have to raise property taxes to pay for all the damage that's been done by a whole bunch of people that aren't obeying the law because the law isn't being enforced. I love it when people show up in the comments. They're like, what's your opinion on CHAZ? Which we literally just talked about. Cool. An NYPD detectives union has vowed to sue any rioter who attacks police officers. The president of the DEA has said, quote, if you assault a New York City detective and there are no consequences from the criminal justice system, we have other means to protect our detectives. Good. Good. I like that. CHAZ does sound like a Starbucks employee. Overall living. Shalom, brother. Best channel on the internet? Probably. Overall living. I mean, I'm just saying, you guys can be subpar human beings and not subscribe to Overall Living. Or you could be awesome and subscribe to Overall Living. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. I set before you life and death. No, that's a little too much, but it's close. But it's close. Societal in general. HBO Max has deleted the classic Gone with the Wind, after screenwriter John Ridley argued that the film romanticizes slavery and called for it to be removed. Holy, 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 bless you. Thank you. Due to a report from the OECD, economists expect the global economy will contract by 6% due to the pandemic and 7.6% if there's a second wave of infections. From current data, it looks like there's already a second wave beginning. That's kind of a problem. That's kind of a problem. Francis Perez, thank you. Northwest Arkansas is seeing a spike in cases that hospitals are calling, quote, a serious public health emergency, and models predict Los Angeles County may start running out of ICU beds in 2 to 4 weeks. Here we go with this stuff again. Man. The San Antonio Police Association is calling for Amazon to remove shirts that say Blue Lives Murder due to it being, quote, a form of hate speech that foments violence. Now listen, I believe severely in capitalism. However, I do like, Brad, I'll lick whatever doorknobs I want to lick, thank you very much. However, good on them for using the same ridiculous policies that are being employed against the rest of us to shut that S word down. Coffee, do you even coffee? Yes, I even coffee. Paw Patrol lives matter. This is correct, Chris. Paw Patrol lives matter. Keep chase, keep chase, keep chase. That's right, JC Faust, pinkies up. Camera is fuzzy. Yes, camera is fuzzy. Very fuzzy. Camera is under a vow, and camera ain't doing anything about the fuzz until 23 June. Ryder needs us. There we go. All right. Gordon Klein has been an accounting professor at UCLA. Repeat, UCLA for 40 years. He has now been suspended and is under police protection because he refused to exempt black students from the final exam and wrote a rebuttal. Now, we've included this rebuttal on Patreon. I do have a copy of it in my hand, and we may read some of it. You know what? We're here. Why not? Quote, "Thanks for your suggestion in your email below that I give black students special treatment given the tragedy in Minnesota. Do you know the names of the classmates that are black? How can I identify them since we've been having online classes only? Are there any students that may be of mixed parentage, such as half black or half Asian? What do you suggest I do with respect to them? A full concession or just half? Also, do you have any idea if any of the students are from Minneapolis? I assume they probably are, especially devastated as well. I am thinking that a white student from there might possibly be even more devastated by this, especially because some might think that they're racist even if they are not. My teacher's assistant is from Minneapolis, so if you don't know, I can probably ask her. Can you guide me on how you think I should achieve a, quote, no harm outcome since our sole course grade is from a final exam only? One last thing strikes me. Remember that Martin Luther King famously said that people should not be evaluated based on the color of their skin. Do you think that your request would run afoul of MLK's admonition? Thanks, G. Klein." You know what? Well done, G. Klein. Well done. I would agree. And again, you can find that letter printed in the report that's on Patreon. Facebook has determined that a page celebrating dead cops doesn't violate its community standards. This, you can't bring history into this. No, that's right. That's right, brother. History doesn't matter. Just our perception of history matters. So, yes, a page celebrating, Andrew, bless you, a page celebrating dead cops on on Facebook does not violate their community standards. This should tell you a lot about Facebook's community standards. So, earmuffs, kids, instead of sitting around and bitching about Facebook, they're so biased, they hate conservatives. Maybe don't be there. Maybe don't be. It's like the CHAZ. Wow, it's ridiculous. They took over downtown. It's a stuff show down there. Things are burning. The homeless people stole their food. They're trying to plant vegetables still inside of the plastic containers in potting soil that was just dumped on top of grass and calling it a garden. Maybe don't be there. Maybe don't be there. This is the same thing. Come out of her, my people, lest you partake in her sins and receive of her plagues. Maybe don't be in Seattle. I'm a prepper and I live in Seattle. Oh, holy shit, my whole city's on fire and Antifa took over 6 square blocks. Maybe don't be there. Facebook is so biased against conservatives. Maybe don't be there. Well, we're supposed to have a voice. You don't own that platform. It's not your platform. The people that own that platform don't like you. They don't like me. This is like walking into, say like you had a gym, like an Aikido gym, right? Full of people that don't like you. And every time you go in there, you get your ass whooped. And then you come outside and stand on the sidewalk and go, this is unfair. No, they don't like you. And they're good at whipping your ass. Maybe don't go in there and hang out. Maybe find a different gym. Maybe start your own gym. Maybe just let circumstance be what it is. We gotta stand up for conservative morals and ethics. Yeah. But you're trying to do it on a platform that's not yours. They can do whatever the F they want to do to you. Logic, people. Logic. Wow, Facebook is really biased against conservatives. You think? They've always been that way. They have always been that way. Wow, elephants are really big and gray and have tusks. They've always been that way. They're always going to be that way. No, YouTube is not better. That's why we're on Patreon. And I don't care if Patreon has been antagonistic towards other people. They've not been towards me. or us. K, 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 K. Okay, K. Is everybody okay? Are we all okay? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Oofta! Everybody drink. Everybody take a shot. The ASU has withdrawn its job offer from an incoming journalism dean after she tweeted, quote, "For the family of George Floyd, the good police officers who keep us safe, my students, faculty, and staff, praying for peace on this Blackout Tuesday." She was called racist and accused of microaggressions. Several students lodged complaints about comments they perceived as rude. A student claimed that she called her hair too messy for television. See, here's the problem with things like this. I'm going to quit editorializing and get back to the report. But when you allow your children, your society, to be full of sopping wet P words that are offended at words, microaggression, exactly, that are offended at words. What happens when a guy like me, not that I would do this because I wouldn't, but let's just say some big dude like me has decided today's your day and grabs you by the back of the head and just pa, 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 over and over and over again. The real world is messy. It's dirty, it's violent, it's brutal. It is also filled with beauty and love and joy and fulfillment if you make it that way. If you figure out how to overcome the brutality, the violence, the anger, the struggle, the strife, the heartache, and push through that, transgress that, transcend that, and build something worth living in. Have a life that is worth living. By overcoming challenges, you build a life that's worth living. Thank you, ducks. These kids, these people, this society will never, if we continue down this road, have those experiences, which means they will never come to a state of fulfillment. It's a problem. It's a problem. Brats. Yeah, that's right. And so if words, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. If words mess you up, this is something that we need to be aware of as well. If words mess you up, not actions, not the reality of the situation, words, we got a problem. We got a big problem. Yeah, Paul, parents' fault? I'll give you this. You're right, parents' fault. But you know what? Every one of us has somebody like this in our life, in our workplace, in our church, in our neighborhood. Pull that person under your wing and say, listen, kid, this is going to be difficult, but I'm going to help you. Shine light on that. You know how many young men I've had in businesses that I've worked with that were just totally messed up here, and I have spent years with, essentially deprogramming so that they could figure out how to be their own man and step into a fruitful and fulfilled life? I could have just said, you know what, F those kids, parenting problem, I'm worried about myself, but I didn't. I demasculated, that's one more thing, and then we'll get back to the report. Let me state something that I believe fully that is wildly unpopular in today's day and age. Femininity cannot bestow masculinity. Femininity cannot bestow masculinity. That's why it's really important that there are men, whatever that looks like. And when I say whatever that looks like, I don't mean male pattern baldness plus long hair and lipstick and mascara because you identify as some trans, furry, humanist, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about however you are a man. You know, if it's beards and AKs, cool, right? But if it's whatever, if it's for you, it's a slide rule and a pencil and exacting engineering, cool. Be a man and Teach your young men, teach your boys how to be men, how to take personal responsibility, how to take headship, leadership, stewardship over situations and people, and lean into the challenges of life so that you can experience fulfillment, so you can experience provision and blessing, right? If you don't give that to your boys, if you don't give that to your young men, and when I say your boys, your young men, I don't mean that they came out of your loins. Certainly that, but the people that you have around you, snatch those boys, snatch those young men up and drag them along for the ride with you and teach them how to be a man. Because when we're old, guess who's going to be running the country? Guess who's going to be holding the rifles that keep us safe at night? Them. And if you don't teach them how to do it, it'll never happen, because this society ain't going to do it. So this is our job. Yes, man camp, brother, I'm working on it, man. This is our job. Parents, yes, need to teach their children. But if the father brings somebody through circumstance into your life that you can bestow wisdom and discernment on, apply leadership to, and pour into that person, do it. I have been incredibly blessed to be the product of many wise older men that I have spent time around, that have poured themselves into me, that have allowed me to operate from a position of strength and have the wisdom and discernment in so many things that I have. Had that not happened, I would be a different person today. So, yes, parenting, but us too, us as well. Femininity cannot bestow masculinity. It can get us almost there, but it's not going to get us across the finish line. It is incredibly important that there are men in the lives of boys and young men. And the opposite applies to women as well. And I'm not going to go on a diatribe there, but I believe just as firmly that it's incredibly important that women pour into young women and pour into girls. And older women, older men pour into this generation that's raising up their babies right now. There has to be a transference of energy and information. Headship, leadership, stewardship. You don't want the country to be a shit show? One person at a time. One person at a time. How do you save the world? One person at a time. That's how. Oofda! Everybody drink. My goodness. Boston's Christopher Columbus statue was beheaded early Wednesday morning. It will now be removed and put in storage. The mayor has said that there will be conversations about whether the statue will ever be re-erected. A California officer was ambushed by a gunman and shot in the head. A transient young man is suspected. The officer is in serious but stable condition with a bullet in his head. Brother, bless you. CCTV footage shows 13 police officers lounging in Congressman Bobby Rush's office during the riots. The mayor and the representative expressed feelings of betrayal and rage at this behavior during a riot. Others have said that these officers were placed there as protection for the office during the peaceful protests. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I'm going to say this with all due respect. Why do police officers allow this to happen? Now, if the answer is because the situation is untenable and I can't put myself in harm's way to go in there and fix that mess, I understand it, but why do you work there in the first place then? The situation has always been untenable. You were just blind to it from jump. You see, the equation changed. The equation of bad people to good folks has changed. That made your situation untenable. Your population density has always been jacked up. It's just on display now. Or is it the department doesn't have the guts to go in there and get the job done? I don't know. But part of what's going on is that departments, mayors, city councils will not engage. If you do not engage, at some point, there will be nothing left but for the citizenry to engage. And if you stand back and let an angry mob attempt to burn my business to the ground, but then attempt to convict me if I defend myself from said angry mob because they're infringing upon my life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, which is God-given and constitutionally protected, we're going to have a problem. So if you were going to abdicate the throne of responsibility in this matter, make sure that you don't hop back on that throne of responsibility when it comes time to judge the people who defended themselves, were forced to defend themselves because you weren't there in the first place. Does that make sense? If you're going to step back, okay. But don't come in and try and arrest a whole bunch of people who step into the gap because you're not there. Okay? Does this make sense? All right. BearIndependent.com. Y'all know what's at BearIndependent.com. Or do you? All you new folks. So, Intel goes to Bear Independent. Intel at BearIndependent.com. Intel at BearIndependent.com. That is correct. You send your intel to the dance monkeys there. You can also tell them what a good job they're doing there. Remember, what's intel? You know, let's say you're an Inuit and your great-great-grandpa had a scroll of seal leather that had inscribed on it some secret code that you found recently while you were hanging inside of your, your little ice wigwam, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is actionable. I need to send it to Bear. And then you send it via, courier pigeon somehow to an email, and you get it, and it's in no way relative to what we're talking about. That's not intel. Intel is independently verifiable and actionable, and that's what goes to intel at BearIndependent.com. Okay? Now, let's talk about BearIndependent.com. Actually, first, I want to talk to you about AdventureFrontier.com, HR 4568, the body armor ban proposed legislation. If you don't have armor, and there's food in your pantry, there's food growing out of your backyard, you're paying your bills, and you're paying down your debt, and you still have money left in your wallet, AdventureFrontier.com. Get you some of this. Get you some of this. Armor. HR 4568 proposed legislation would ban anything 3+ or up. So that means that yes, existing armor is grandfathered, but any armor you could buy after that would stop handgun rounds, would stop these, but it would not stop these. So think about that. Just think about that. Okay? So, 12-week lead time. I just got an email from somebody who said, hey, I got my plates in 2 weeks. So they have AR-500 steel. They have AR-550 steel. Spartan armor is at AdventureFrontier.com. They have some really good deals right now. Really good deals. The Condor Mop C, which is typically like $80. The Condor Mop C carrier, which is one of the carriers that I use. And with plates and side plates for $240 base. It's a great way to start right there. Don't believe me, just watch. That's right, Chris. That's right, Michael. So, and you can use promo code BearNation if you'd like $10 off your order. Use promo code BearNation. Hop over there. Tell them that Bear sent you. AdventureFrontier.com. Let's talk about BearIndependent.com. I want to show you guys something. We're gonna go for a little walk. It's over here. You know, at BearIndependent.com, we have stickers, patches, T-shirts. All the things. We have all the things. Let's see. Can I do it? Can I do it? I think if I hit this button, yeah, I did it. Check this out. Boom. See this? This is the Condor pack insert that we make that is also filled with medical stuff. Filled with medical stuff. And this was a request from JS Badger. He said, T, you make the stomp bag, but what if we can't afford a stomp bag, or if we already have a bag that we just want to put stomp bag stuff into? Can you do that? I said, yeah, I'll do that. And so in this package, there you go. In this package, this is the trauma pack insert. You can get this at bearindependent.com. You have in here one North American Rescue Gen 7 cat tourniquet, one SWAT T tourniquet, one quick clot 3-inch by 24 clotting gauze, one quick clot 3-inch by 48-inch rolled gauze, two North American Rescue 6-inch emergency trauma dressings, one set of full-size high-fin chest seals, one decompression needle, one set of 7 1/4-inch trauma shears, 6 5x9 ABD gauze pads, one North American Rescue triangle bandage, compressed gauze, survival blanket, 6 nitrile gloves, 6 pair of nitrile gloves, one trauma pad, 2 surgical tape, 1 duct tape, 1 white triangle bandage, 12 2x2s, 12 4x4s, 3-inch rolled gauze, 2-inch rolled gauze, antiseptic towelettes, alcohol wipes, 12 sutures, 10 steri strips, cotton tipped applicators, disposable scalpels, povidone iodine, cohesive bandages, exam lights, 6-inch shears, 4-inch tweezers, 6-inch bandage scissors, 4-inch bandage shears, 4-inch fine scissors, 6-inch straight hemostats, 6-inch curved hemostats, scalpel handle, 6-inch scalpel handle, 4-inch disposable surgical scalpel blades, surgical drape, and more. Right here. Right here. This is for dealing with trauma and minor surgery in the field, wound closure, things of that nature. So this costs less than 2 of these. So it costs less than 2 of these. You can get these at bearindependent.com. This right here costs less than 2 of these. So you got 2 tourniquets, 2 pressure dressings, 2 quick clots in here, disinfectant, 2 types of wound closure, surgical tools, more tape, triangle bandages, rolled gauze, sutures, scalpels, all kind of stuff in here. Good to go. Good to go right here. And you can add this to an existing pack, or you can get your own pack, put this into it, and continue to build out on top of that. But this is like a mini stomp bag right here that is designed to go into your existing pack. So yay to Badger for that. And then let's see, stand by. Also, don't believe me, just watch. Also, if you are one of our patrons at the end of this month, so much navigating to do. At the end of this month, we have a mini stomp bag that we're giving away for y'all. So for the $5 and up patrons, where is it? Where is it? It's right there. Oh, when I say mini stomp bag, it ain't that mini. It ain't that mini. So OD Green stomp bag for the patrons being given away at the end of this month on Patreon for the $5 and up patrons. There is a post you got to click on. Where the hell my report go? I'll be right back. Find the report, enter the report, or find the post, enter your name on the post. Good to go. I got to go grab my report. Be right back. That's not my report. Hold on. Also, I just want to say thanks to you knuckleheads that put Uptown Funk back in my head. So, thanks. Sahuya. Okay. Single accounts, insider intel, and miscellaneous from a contributor. Quote, riots in the Twin Cities caused CVS and Target to shut down around town. All the folks needing those drugs from CVS were denied access at usual locations. CVS pushed all those scripts to a single location, overwhelming their capacity and causing delays. Now listen, I tell you guys all the time, but if you're new here, let me repeat. If you're on medications and you're into preparedness, you need to have a backstock of Tango Charlie, Uptown Funk you up. That's right. You need to have a backstock of that medication on hand. Highway Patrol are stepping up inspections to make up for lost time. I have seen this with my own eyes. I noticed just yesterday, man, there's a lot of trucks on the highway, and man, there's a lot of them pulled over with flashing lights behind them, so be aware of that. They were ordered to stand down for the last few months due to the pandemic, but they are not wasting any time now. So, there you go. International, repeating, protests have spread internationally. England, Germany, France, Spain, Denmark, Italy, Syria, Brazil, Mexico, Ireland, New Zealand, Canada, Poland, and Australia. A Canadian county sheriff's office is looking for volunteers to serve on a sheriff's posse for the purpose of assisting in local crises and states of emergency. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Do we start schwacking the funkers? No, Badger, no. It's not their fault that they're not right in the head. None of us are right in the head. That's why we're all congregated here each morning. But listen. Smoother than a fresh jar Skippy, you know? That's right, because Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Beer for my horses. Amen. A video taken in London shows a black man wrestling a white police officer and pinning him on the ground, and black bystanders proceeding to kick the officer while he is pinned on the sidewalk. The BBC described the video as, quote, a video which shows an officer on the ground apparently being kicked, end quote, and race is not mentioned in the article. The incident began when police were flagged down to aid a member of the public who claimed to have been assaulted and attempted to speak to those involved. Now, I've said this before, and I will say it again. Glock 19 or Ruger Security 9 for the wife? Okay, first of all, we do tactical questions, Cassius, on Tactical Tuesday, the Tuesday night live stream. Second of all, neither. Take your wife to the gun store and have her pick up every gun there. And when she finds one that fits her hand, you don't mock her, you don't tell her nothing. You find one that fits her hand and that she likes. And if it's a .32 auto, that's better than nothing, because when you buy her a Glock 19 that you bought her, that she doesn't like, that she doesn't want to carry, so she's not going to carry and she leaves it at home, when she needs to use the weapon, guess where it's going to be? At home, because she doesn't like it. So you let her buy her gun, and then if she has a .32 or a .380 in her hand, the .380 that's in her hand is better than the 9mm she left at the house because you bought it for her and she don't like it. That's what you do, okay? Okay. Next. New Zealand has ended restrictions with the exception of closed borders. The country is celebrating having beaten COVID-19. Good job, New Zealand. You and your little hobbit people running around, wizards and orcs and elves and whatever the hell else you got hidden in the nooks and crannies of those mountains you got. Aerial imagery indicates that Iran has built a fake aircraft carrier, similar to the U.S. Nimitz-class carriers. It is believed that this is for live fire drills. Tensions with the U.S. are ongoing. Oh, Iran. I don't want to jump into the rabbit hole, but let's just say, if we take the gloves off and we go to warfare, you let the United States military do what they've been built and trained to do, Okay. Taiwan will be accepting refugees from Hong Kong, though there will be difficulty screening Chinese spies, and it is expected that there will be a jump in coronavirus cases. Absolutely. Absolutely. There will absolutely be Chinese spies in that. Debunking misinformation. Previously, the BBC reported that an officer threw herself from a horse. Not so much. This stuff is all repeating, and you'll find this stuff in the report that is on Patreon or the other reports from throughout the week. Actionable. In larger population centers, militias are an outnumbered distraction. However, in smaller towns, it has been seen over and over that when local armed peacekeepers and patriots line the streets, trouble does not get out of hand. Are you and your neighbors organized? Are you communicating? Are you working with your local sheriff's department? Do you have a plan? Is your group practicing? There have been instances of impersonation amongst these riots and protests. Pay attention to who's who. New firearms transaction record has all your info on the front page. Don't let people steal your identity by taking pics of that front page. Reach out and support others. Suicide is on the rise. Plant in your pantry. Get calories from alternative places like Asian supply stores, Amish and Mennonite stores, restaurant supply stores, local farmers, etc. Silver linings. A 47-year-old with a rare condition that has partially paralyzed the right side of her body is now affecting her brain, is following the call and preparing. Quote, people say, I have never heard from God. Well, they should stop and listen sometimes. I may not live long enough to use them, but I have a daughter in graduate school who will be able to use everything I am preparing. People cannot say that they can't. This woman has the right side of her body paralyzed, and she's still prepping. Y'all don't get to complain. She is great. That's correct. Tango Charlie. She would also like to remind you to keep fire extinguishers at home. It's a good reminder, and bless you, sister. Quote, have expanded my garden and reached out to our sheriff's department, building a sheep pen, and we are working on Torah. Still weird. Been missing bacon this week. Bought more chickens too. Welcome to the struggle, bro. But there are blessings on the other side of that, man. So swine belly ain't meat. And it is, for some odd reason, incredibly idolized in the country that we live in. Talk to your butcher, get some beef bacon, you'll be okay. My son, a friend, and I recovered and butchered 2 dispatched moose last week for our church. Holy cow. 2 of them? We will be using the meat to provide for needy families. That is awesome. One viewer notes that thanks to the forums on Bear Independent, several people and families were able to connect over the last few weeks and develop a mag in his area. Awesome. JC, I'll funk you up, bro. They're going to funk you up. Quote, my family is 110% more prepared than we were since the Bear Nation came into our life. We're nowhere near where I want us to be, but we have our butts in gear to get closer every single day. Awesome. And their local grocery store is well stocked again. Another one, quote, I have always been the crazy one in the family, planting a garden, storing food and security items and other preparedness things. Due to the recent events, my family started to reach out and ask what to do and where to start. I sent them to the Bear Independent channel. They are all now subscribers. What's up, fam? They are all now subscribers to the channel and are actively doing the things. That's awesome. So speaking of forums, the forums at bearindependent.com. Where do we go? T, where do I go to get a bearindependent.com? I love you back. Whatever your name was. Where'd you go? Gabriella. Listen, it's like a brotherly, sisterly love, okay? I'm married. I'm sure you're cool. I love my wife, though, so, you know, keep it in your pants. But I love you back. Only buckshot comes out of a rabbit hole. Okay. Okay. Matthew, that is not how you spell Bear Independent. Oh, man. Okay. BearIndependent.com, not B-A-R-E. That's a different website. I was young. I needed the money, and those dollars smelled like shame and sweat. Don't judge. Sometimes we've all got to wear a banana hammock. You know what I mean? B-E-A-R, Bear Independent. No A's in the word independent.com. And you'll find the forums there. You'll also find the online store there. Prepper Classroom, digital downloads, Bear Facts, and other emergency supplies, stickers, t-shirts, patches. It's all there. By the way, please buy a Goats and Hose t-shirt. My wife worked hard on that. Mr. Brees worked hard on the logo. Please buy a Goats and Hose t-shirt while you're there. I appreciate it. Let's see. Grindstone, our charitable ministry, charitable organization, is looking for an attorney and a grant writer. You can send your, if you are an attorney or grant writer, you can send in your information to grindstoneadmin@protonmail. Now, to support Grindstone Ministries, which is, again, our charitable organization, we do badass construction things with people who are, generally speaking, covered in tattoos, like drinking whiskey, and love the Lord their God with all their heart, with all their soul, with all their might, and love their neighbor as their self to the best of their ability, and can swing a hammer or run a sawzall or run a paintbrush or whatever. We build things for the kingdom, and we are partnered indefinitely with a Demand Project, which is a charity that rescues and rehabilitates victims of human trafficking and sex crimes. And they're really good at arresting perverts. They're really good at rehabilitating kids that have been sold as sexual product. They're terrible at construction. We are very good at construction. You don't have to drink anymore. I'm just saying, typically speaking, we have lots of people who are clean and sober in Grindstone as well. I'm just saying these are the, if you're looking, if like when you go to church, you puke in your mouth a little bit because everybody's really soft and meek and quiet and nice. And you're like, how can I go serve the kingdom or support people that serve the kingdom that have beards and tattoos and may or may not occasionally spill a drop of whiskey on their Bible? Welcome to Grindstone Ministries, okay? Now, to support Grindstone Ministries, you can drink coffee at disastercoffee.com. I need to be saved. Oh boy, we're fixing to pray. Stay, Jay, stay. Disastercoffee.com. Drink some disaster coffee. You can go to amendment1preparedness.com and pre-order a badass radio, like inside of a 30 caliber ammo can. And you can go to sanctifiedsupplyco.com and get this Waking the Giant t-shirt right here. Waking the Giant. Jerry and Lucia at Sanctified Supply Co. are launching. They're coming out of her, my people. And the way that they are doing that is they need to sell 500 t-shirts. Whether it's this t-shirt or any other t-shirt, they need to sell 500 t-shirts at the Sanctified Supply Co. to be able to come out of her, sorry about the grits, to come out of her, my people. Okay? So, please go to Sanctified Supply Co. Help support them, Bear Nation. Please help support them. Dudley, bless you. They are our brothers and sisters in the Bear Nation. They're a young couple that's trying to launch off of the West Coast into the heartland of the country and follow the convictions of their creator. And the way they're trying to do it is through capitalism. Do you even, Bear Nation? Through capitalism and providing an equitable product, a fairly priced product to you. Man, Sanctified Supply Co., they're awesome. So help lift them up. Please go check out their wares. If you can afford to buy something, please buy something. It will help get them from where they are to where they need to be. There you go. Appreciate y'all. Let's pray. Let's pray. Father Yah, first and foremost, there is a brother, at least one brother, if not multiple, brothers and sisters. Father, you know our hearts. There are people here that don't know you but need to know you, that need to be saved. And so, Bear Nation, if you're out there and you don't know the Father, or if it's been a while since you and he have talked, let's do this together. Just repeat after me, either verbally or just with the voice of your heart, the voice of your soul. Father God, I'm a sinner, and I need redemption. I cannot do this life on my own. I do not want to do this life on my own anymore. I need help. Father, I recognize your sovereignty over my life. And I commit my life into your hands to follow you. Father, I need the covering of the blood of Yeshua, of Jesus. And I acknowledge him as my Redeemer, as my teacher. And I commit myself to walk in his ways to the best of my broken ability. That he would lead me and teach me how to walk out this life, to return to you, who fearfully and wonderfully made me. Father, it's not easy, but it is good. Father, I pray that you would just lift the burden that I carry from my shoulders. You would wash me in the blood of the Lamb, that I would be made new this very moment. Father Yah, be indwelt in me. Fill me up with your Holy Spirit, your Ruach HaKodesh. If there is anything in me or within the sound of my voice that is not of you, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to flee. And I pray that you would fill us up with your power and your authority and your wisdom and your strength and your compassion and your love, that we would be in service to you this day and forevermore, that you would be our Yahweh, our Father God, and that we would be your people. And I ask these things in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, of Jesus the Christ. Amen. If you just prayed that prayer for the first time, welcome home. And if you just prayed that prayer for the first time in a long time, welcome back. Bear Nation, we love y'all. We really do. Go be the light. Go be the light. I may or may not see y'all next week. Bless y'all. Overall living, I felt it, but I'm feeling it right now. It feels like somebody's trying to kick my knees out from under me. Peace. Shalom. Bless y'all. You boys and girls are awesome. Thank you for letting me be part of your life every day. Really, thank you. It's an honor. Hey, please keep our team in your prayers as we continue to grow, as this thing continues to grow legs. We are blessed. Just please keep our team in your prayers. We're good. We're just pray for us. We appreciate y'all. Have a blessed weekend. Shabbat shalom. And if I see y'all next week, awesome. If I don't, no hard feelings. We'll be back soon. Shalom.